Now, in the ongoing controversy surrounding SEBI chief Madhavi Puri Butch, we look at Hindenburg's latest demands from the SEBI chief. The research firm has asked Butch to disclose her client list. We also look at the web of funds and investments which Hindenburg alleges show the link between the SEBI chief and Vinod Adani, elder brother of industrialist Gautam Adani. A report by the Indian Express shows Mauritius-based IPE Plus Fund 1 is in the prime focus in the scandal surrounding SEBI chief Madhavi Puri Butch and her husband Dhaval Butch. According to the report, this fund had investments from Vinod Adani and is part of 2 of the 13 offshore funds which form a part of the web under SEBI scrutiny. Records assessed by the Indian Express and documents from Hindenburg show a clear link between the Butch couple's investments and the fund under scanner. Butch's investment sub-fund, Global Dynamic Opportunities Fund, was managed by Trident Trust Company based in Mauritius. Now, Trident Trust Company was also the declared beneficial owner of the Emerging India Focus Fund and EM Resurgent Fund. These two are part of the 13 foreign entities under SEBI scrutiny. Global Dynamic Opportunities Fund is a hedge fund operated by IIFL Capital, which also manages IPE Plus Fund. Butch and her husband invested in IPE Plus Fund 1 from 2015 to 2018. And this coincides with the time period under scrutiny starting in 2016 to 17 for the two funds in focus. In October 2020, when Butch was a whole-time member, SEBI initiated the probe. Hindenburg claims that mere days before Madhavi Puri Butch became a SEBI member, Dhaval Butch took over as the sole operator of the fund in March of 2017. In February 2018, the SEBI chief instructed the fund management to redeem the entire investment. In response to these bombshell allegations, the SEBI chief and her husband issued a joint statement claiming that in 2018, Anil Ahuja left his position as CIO, following which they redeemed the investment in that fund. The couple stated that Ahuja was the CIO of IIFL and Dhaval's childhood friend. The duo further went on to claim that all disclosures and recusals were diligently followed, including disclosures of all securities held or subsequently transferred. They added, as confirmed by Anil Ahuja, at no point in time did the fund invest in any bond, equity or derivative of any Adani Group company. Countering that statement, Hindenburg stated that Madhavi Butch's response includes several admissions and raises numerous new critical questions. The watchdog has demanded the SEBI chairperson disclose her client list. Hindenburg has also challenged the SEBI chief to commit to a full, transparent and public investigation into these issues, while also questioning the integrity of SEBI's probe into fraud allegations against Adani Group, given Butch's involvement in such funds. Now, to understand the situation better, we spoke to Mike Buckley, senior journalist, political commentator and director, Independent Commission of UK-EU Relations from Sheffield, England. We asked him about how did the markets react to the Hindenburg versus SEBI chief saga. Listen in.
The markets have not reacted in the dramatic way that I think that they perhaps could have done and perhaps would have expected. And instead, what they've done is react a bit. But then the Adani value has tended to come back around towards the norm. So we've seen that again in the last few days. So while the value of Adani Group companies was hit, it has tended to come back to where it was before. And I think Adani Green, in fact, went up. So I think the markets are taking this in their stride and not overreacting to what is an ongoing story, as we've seen.
Now, we also asked, what is the impact of SEBI, which is under scrutiny?
So the impact of this, I think, is probably more severe and is something that the Indian country and that SEBI really needs to think about dealing with. So obviously, external investors will look at India and will look at SEBI and think, do I have trust in SEBI, firstly, as an institution, and therefore do I have trust in the decisions that SEBI makes now and has made in the past. And if external investors, international investors, look at SEBI and think we don't have confidence in you as an institution, that will give them real fear and worry about investing in India as a whole, particularly, of course, where SEBI has been involved in, saying that a company is worth investing in or is, above scrutiny, etc. So I do think that SEBI needs to take action, and it may be that Madani Book is not going to be able to continue in her position for that much longer unless she can substantiate the claims that she's made about her investments. So I think this is something that needs to be dealt with in the short term for the sake of the Indian economy moving forward, because like any economy, it needs investment, and this is something that really needs to be taken seriously. So I do hope that this can be sorted out in the short term.
Now, Mike Buckley also highlights the impact on foreign investors. Listen in.
So, well, foreign investors, I think, are going to be worried about all of this. They're going to be worried, of course, about Adani Group and whether it is, is financially stable moving forward. But I think they will also have questions, as I was saying, about SEBI and about Madani Book. So I do think that the leadership of SEBI possibly needs to take action. Madani Book, if she's got more information that can prove that all her investments are above board and beyond reproach, then she should release that into the public domain. But if she can't do that, then I genuinely think she's going to need to think about resigning her position, because I just don't see that it's tenable for the long term.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.